Okay guys, Alexis here. I'm here to basically do a video on hair, a hair tutorial. This is something I was working on. I figured why not, while I'm here, just do a tutorial real quick. I've already got one piece in, as you can see, that I just did. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you the basics of how I accomplished this look right here. And it's probably the easiest, this is for me the easiest way to do hair. You're not going to get like a total complete real look to it, but it still has a very nice look to it. I personally like it. Simple. You want to start out with 3 colors right there. You want a medium color, you want a dark color, and a light color. What I start out with, I start with the medium. So right now this is my color here. You can go full 100% with the color, or what I like to do, I like to just go to like 90 or something like that, so that basically whenever you go over it, you see that right there? It creates like a little darker area. That's 90. If you go to 60, you can do that. It just gets darker and darker, and it's kind of cool because whenever you're doing it, it creates strands in it already. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but it creates strands within it while you're laying down your basic color. So it's kind of already getting you started with the strands, if you will. So let me put this to a size that I want it here. I want to put it up to 90 because that's what I want to work with. So first things first, I've already got my everything. I always do the skin first. It's just the way I like to do it. I don't know how y'all want to do it, but I always put hair on last. It's got its own layer. I have a face layer, a skin layer, but I like to do hair last. So let's get started on this. And every strand I do, I make a new layer. So here's this layer. I'm going to do another hair layer, and I'm going to put it here, and it's going to be its own layer. And then at the end I can figure out if I want to merge them or not. But every strand I like to do by itself. That way if I ever mess up, I don't totally mess myself up, and I can just get rid of that one layer. Okay, what am I starting with? Middle color. Put your color in. Basically, you're just kind of putting the shape of what your hair is going to be right here. I'm just going to do this for now. You can do as much or as little as you want with this. I mean, some people might not want to put so much on one layer, but I don't really care at the moment. Okay, I think I got the shape that I want. Now you're going to do the dark color. Get your dark color in here. You're kind of doing the same thing. With dark color, you want to do it around the edges. Like, see how this area right here, this is a tip? Places where the hair gathers, like here, edge, edge, all in here. These are like the edges of the hair. This right here is kind of where the hair kind of expands, so you don't want to put as much dark in there. That's probably where you're going to put more highlights. But in the places where the hair gathers more, that's where you want to put the dark. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So now I'm going to get my light color. Now we're going to do the highlights, which, like I said, where it's kind of, see how it kind of raised it up right here? That's where I'm going to put my light colors. You don't want to like totally fill it in because then you don't have this middle color to work with the light and the black whenever, or sorry, the dark whenever you go to with the next step that I'm about to do. So you do still want to be able to see this middle color right here. Okay, so that's pretty much it right there. I've got all the colors I want, maybe put a little right there. So now you're going to take your smudge tool. At this point, I like to have a big, see how big it is? Not anything too small. I just want to be able to mold the colors together at this point. I'm not trying to do any strands or anything like that. I just want to get the colors blended together pretty, if that makes sense. So just go back and forth until you get the look you want. You can see it starts to blend everything in. Okay, so I got it to kind of the place that I like it here. Now I'm going to really start putting strands in. First I'll take the light color, get your paintbrush, and obviously that's not a strand, that's way too thick. So let me see, let's try a 3. Yeah, that looks good, I like that. Even a 2, I could probably even work with a 2 here. And note that this, the dimensions on this, I have 300 dpi. It's at 8.5 by 11, or yeah, 8.5 by 11. So obviously if I had 100 dpi, it would look a little bit thicker where I am right now. So let's go over here. So now you just start to put in some strands, and you'll notice that, you know, I'm still going over the black, I keep saying black, darker areas. Kind of go out of the lines here. This is like the strands, the flyaways. This is what's really going to start to bring the hair to life. So let me go through here. I'm being very free with it at the moment. Because it's hair. I mean, that's the great part about hair. It flows, it's all over the place. Curly hair gets a little more complicated. I wouldn't consider myself the best at curly hair. I'm better at this hair. Okay, so I got the light in, so let's now work with some dark. You do the same thing, you kind of just go over everything. Have fun with it, remember. Again, it's hair. It's not like it has a formula here. that's pretty much it. So let me finish the rest of the hair, and remember, each one is going to be a layer. Each time I have a new one of these, I make a layer so that in the end I can kind of figure out what I want to merge together. Obviously, anything that's going to be behind here, behind her skin, I'm going to make a layer behind the skin layer. And that's pretty much it. So I'll catch back up with you guys in just a minute. Okay, so I just finished all the hair. So let me show you all the layers. Okay, here's the first one I did. That's the one I did with you guys. Got another layer, another layer, another layer. And finally that. So, as you can see, it looks pretty flat, like, because we've only used basically 3 colors, and we blended it and then we went over it with the same colors. So while you see the flow of the hair, you don't see quite the dimension of it. You don't see what's behind what. You don't see the hair from the back versus the hair up front. So I'm going to show you how to bring all that to light, if you will. I have my burn tool, which is basically a tool that darkens things. See this right here? That's the burn tool. Kind of play around. I mean, it's going to depend on how different of a color you're wanting, but I have it at 50 right now, which seems pretty good to me. And you don't want it to be what they called hard round. You want the hardness to be at its softest at this point. And I do want big. I want to go really big. That way, whenever I'm putting the darker parts in, it's not a defined shape. It's just a nice soft darker area. So let me get rid of all of this. I just want to do one layer at a time here. If I think about, these two are pretty much the front pieces to the whole head. But I do still want to put some darkness to them. So I'm working on this piece right here. I always like to make the roots a little bit darker. And then this right here kind of looks like it's underneath. So I'm going to make that dark as well. And let me make this a little bit smaller. So now I'm going to put maybe some dark shades in here. And to me, that's almost going too dark, especially up at the top. So that's why I love Control Delete. It's my favorite. Right there. Okay, so let's try again. Just play around with it, see what how dark you want it. Alright, that right there seems really good. And see how it kind of brings dimension to it? So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to do it to the rest of everything else. Again, here. It's going over the shoulder, so it's going to be dark right there. That looks good to me. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Next piece is this. Obviously you can see it's underneath her hand and everything, so there's going to be shadows. And it's going to be dark in here. Right in there. That's where her hand is. Underneath her chin. Much better. So, see how much better that looks? I mean, that looks amazing. I love it. One of my best hair pieces I've done yet. As you can see, let me kind of recap what we did. You have your three colors right there. You've got your medium color, your dark color, your light color. You go in pieces. Start with your medium, dark pieces. Remember, towards the edges of it and anything that bends and gathers together. You've got your light to highlight where the light shines. You take your smudge tool. By the way, I had it on 85%. I don't know if I told you that before. Kind of blend the colors together. And then you take your paintbrush again, start with your light color. You make it really fine, the sides of the brush, so that you're doing strands. It's okay to go outside the lines because hair is all over the place. And then you start with the dark color. You do the same thing. And then you take your burn tool. You mess around, see where you want it. And there you go. Hair. The easiest form of hair, and I've done it for a long time, and you get better at it the more you do it, but that's the easiest way I've come up with doing hair, and the result is, as you can see, very decent. Hope you enjoyed. I don't know what my next tutorial will be on, but keep watching and then you'll be able to see what's coming up. Enjoy, guys. Bye.